Hi everyone, Stepan here, playing Chess Boxer 1995. An intimidating name, we will see. So last game finished with a checkmate, which was nice. Unfortunately, I didn't see it before I actually got to play the move, so it's kind of a tainted win. Why did I play Bishop f4? It's kind of a tainted win. In my opinion, I saw a different checkmate, which didn't work because he had a very obvious piece defending the square I was going to checkmate on. But then another checkmate appeared, which I just wasn't thinking about it at the time. And like I actually thought I'd blundered, but I did not. Let's see, we have 78 points to go until 2400. My dogs just came back, or one dog, I'm not sure. Lucia went for a walk with them. Bishop f5 immediately is kind of strange. Provoking me to play bishop d3. I don't know this line. So bishop d3 takes. I don't know this line. Bishop d3 takes. If queen b6, then queen c2. Well, that seems okay. I'm gonna go bishop d3. If c4, I just take. If takes c4, then queen c2. If he closes down the center, I'm playing for e4. I don't see why I should play knight d2 and not develop my bishop to the best square. c4 doesn't scare me. Queen b6 doesn't scare me. So why not? I may even consider queen e2. Okay, he doesn't play c4, he doesn't play queen b6, so now I'm going to go knight d2 to make sure I can go rook b1 against queen b6, so that I don't have to move my queen again. Again, c4 closes down the center and allows the e4 pawn break. Strategically, trading off the light squared bishops is not a good idea for white, because that's my good bishop and his bad bishop, but it's better to trade it off than to have my bishop on e2 and have his just looking at all the light squares. He could do the same thing, he could go bishop d6. But then I may be able to take a pawn and ruin my pawn structure. Okay. Now we're in the Caro-Kann. This is a Carlsbad pawn structure where black had managed to trade off the light squared bishops, so not bad for my opponent. Okay, I'm not going to take and develop his queen. I'm gonna go bishop g3, even though that's not the principled move, because it allows e5. I think I have a slight lead in development when it comes to king safety, because I can castle queenside, and if e5... okay, he didn't go e5, so now I go knight f3, e5 has been prevented. If knight f5, I don't really worry about him taking this bishop. Okay. My opponent is playing a very strange setup. I'm not sure what to do. If I take now, I wasted a tempo. If I castle, he could just take. So I feel like I should castle queenside, but that seems suicidal in light of b5, b4, minority attack. So castles queenside, what does he do? I don't like castling queenside. That cannot be good. So I'm just gonna castle kingside. If he wants to take this, that's fine. I'm gonna play for the e5 square. Wait, maybe I take with the f-pawn. Maybe this is one of those situations where taking with the f-pawn is justifiable. I'm not sure. I actually like taking with the f-pawn. I give up the e3 square, but when I play rook e1, my rooks seem perfectly placed. If you can hear the dogs, I'm sorry. There are dogs in my house. So h takes or f takes? I'm gonna take with the h-pawn. Even though my rook gets open, I'm not a big fan of weakening my second rank like that. A minority attack could be coming, and if it succeeds, I need my pawn on f2. I'm not sure what he's thinking about. I don't think he could ever castle queenside, so yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna start fighting for e5, double up my rooks on the e file. Now if he plays a3 or rook b8, a6 or rook b8, then the eventual b5 could lead to b4, knight b3, knight c5 with positional domination. This has definitely become a very simplified position. Maybe I should have taken with the f pawn. But I don't like the idea of having my rook on f1 with the open f file if I'm playing for e5. I don't see a point to that. So the reason I was happy to see him exchange the knight for the bishop is because this is a standard Carlsbad where black is basically in a Caro-Kann but doesn't have knight e4. Okay, trying to push e5. So if e5 now, then takes, knight takes, knight takes, bishop takes, that's fine. I'm going rook e2. And also f6 isn't playable because I just take on e6. I don't think he can ever take on g3 either, so I don't really understand queen c7. Maybe rook e8 was better if he wants to go e5. Okay, I'm not taking the pawn, I'm going knight b3, knight c5. So I believe I just block the position up. And I'm better. So b4, knight b3, knight c5. That seems good to me. I don't think he can ever put pressure on my c3 pawn. If e5 ever now, then d5 is loose, b5 is loose. I don't think b5 was a good idea. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to factor in that my rook is hanging, so I don't have a3. So b4 was actually an extremely bad move. I'm guessing I have to take it, otherwise I just lose a pawn. But I will go knight b3 in the end and pick up the pawn on b5. I don't know where the compensation is. Maybe there is some compensation. Unless he wants to go queen a5. Queen a5 is the only move that doesn't lose the pawn. If knight a5, I go knight b3, he goes knight c4, I take on b5. Or I go knight b3, he goes rook f b8. So maybe he doesn't lose the pawn. I'm playing very anti-positionally, playing dubious moves. Because my rook was loose on a1, I had to compromise. I blundered with b4, then I had to take on a5. This is very unsound. I would never play like this. I didn't pay enough attention. my rooks are disconnected. That's very frustrating. I'm seriously considering playing rook e1. b4 was such a bad move. This is probably the worst game I played positionally in a month. Such an ugly position. This feels unplayable. I'll try to set up a4. Probably won't be able to. Queen c2 loses to knight a3. So how do I set up a4? I could try to reroute my knight to b4 and then also guard the a3 square, so knight e1. I'm gonna try that. I need to untangle somehow because this seems dreadful. I mean, it is dreadful. It doesn't seem dreadful. It's just a bad position. Okay, I think I have to take on c4. Otherwise I just lose a pawn. My position is so bad, it's painful. Queen takes? Why would he take with the queen? That doesn't make sense to me. I think I'm holding everything. Of course, I'm not gonna take the queen. I want to keep the weakness on b5. I think if he had taken with the b pawn, his position is easily winning, because I can never get rid of the pressure on a2. I mean, the only move that gains some material back, because I'm gonna lose the c3 pawn, is rook takes b5. But it doesn't seem good. Maybe it's the only option though. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna be a pawn down in the endgame. For sure. But it's not game over. Okay, so I basically have to take. I don't have anything else. And now I probably have to go knight f3. I mean, I have an outside passed pawn, but I have a weakness on d4, and the passed pawn itself is weak, so probably I lose one of the pawns. I'm gonna try to hold on to them for as long as possible. Although I don't see it working, he just goes bishop b4 at some point. Still, I have rook c1 coming up, and maybe rook c2 to put pressure on his back rank. Okay, he saves that. But that does weaken the e6 pawn. Yeah, this seems fairly symmetrical now. Seems like we're heading towards a draw. So if I go rook b6 and he plays rook a6, I take and go a4. That's a passed pawn. Is it good though? If I go rook e2, he goes king f7. If I go rook e1, he takes on a2. So I feel like I should go rook b6. There's no easy way for him to get the bishop to target f2. So if e6 is going to be weak, it's probably close enough to a draw. Okay, so now we're gonna have a passed pawn on a4. Whether that's gonna be enough, I don't know. Finally lifting the blockade. Now I need to get my king in there. His passed pawn is gonna be on d5, so my king is much closer to that pawn. And I need to make sure that my king reaches b3 before his king reaches a5. Luckily, I always have ideas like this, cutting the king completely off. Okay. Kind of feel like I shouldn't take that, improving his pawn structure. So I'm just gonna march my king in. This way he doesn't have a passed pawn, at least not yet. Ooh, he took. Okay. Ah, stupid me. Stupid me. Oh, no, 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 no. Maybe I can get away with this. Maybe. I did not see that. I think I get the pawn back. So knight here, here, here. Yeah, okay. I'm lucky again. And if he plays d4, I can go f4. Now technically, a knight is better when all the pawns are on one side of the board. So maybe I'm not even worse if I manage to regain the d pawn. Which seems probable. Again, probably my worst game in a while. I don't think I deserve the draw. But okay. I think I should just get my pawn back. I think I have to play f4. He wants to go bishop b6. A rook trade leads to a draw, inevitably. And I don't see a way to get my knight to control f7. I'm really worried about rook a2 in conjunction with bishop b6. That seems deadly. So I'm gonna take with the knight. I don't think I can afford rook takes. There are no good knight moves that would allow me rook d7 check. I'm gonna try this. Okay, this is going to be a draw, but I didn't see anything else. F and H are a draw, even if I didn't have a G-pawn. And his king is cut off, so it's going to be pretty easy. I blundered, but again, I didn't deserve any more than a loss, I feel. But okay. And this is an easy draw, because whichever pawn he trades off, my king is close enough, and if he trades off the f pawn, then it's an automatic draw. Okay, I don't know, I'll just wait. There's no way for him to make progress. I don't want to offer a draw because it would be impolite. He's a pawn up, so we have to wait for him to do something. Yeah, not a good game. Maybe it was drawn all along after queen takes c4. I still think if he'd taken with the b pawn, he would have been much better. But okay. I'm trying to get to the h-pawn, so if he plays king f4, I'm gonna go rook h7. I'm so unhappy with this game. So the reason b4 was bad was because my rook was on e2. So I just couldn't go a3. If my rook was back on e1, I could have gone a3 and just had positional superiority. Okay, I'll just wait again. This is just a draw. I mean, he knows it's a draw. I don't know how he thinks he could make progress, but again, if he trades off the f-pawn, then we just agree to a draw. If he doesn't, then I don't know what else he does. I don't know. Let's just wait again. Maybe he flags. I don't know. Okay, now I can just pick the pawn up. Is the king and pawn endgame a draw if I take on h4? No, it's not, so let's wait. Let's not risk anything. I don't know what to do. Why doesn't he agree to a draw? Or offer a draw? He can never move the h-pawn forward, and he can never move the f-pawn forward without trading it off. How many moves have we played? Pretty soon the 50 move rule is going to kick in, I feel. I don't know. If f4 ever, then I just keep checking and I pick up the h-pawn if he goes too far away. If h3 now, I check on g8. Okay, come on, offer a draw. I really don't wish to be rude, and I'm not gonna offer a draw, because I would be annoyed if somebody offered to draw to me in a drawn position where I'm a pawn up. Okay, can we agree to a draw now? Please. Now I'm gonna offer a draw because it's equal material. No draw. Okay, he lost. Oh, Jesus, come on, man. Oh, why would he do that? Oh, come on. I feel really sorry for him. I'm actually going to write, I'm sorry. I think he deserved to win. Then when it was a draw, he didn't accept the draw, and then it's just... This is just sad. I mean, if this happened to me, I'd be screaming now. I wrote I'm sorry. I mean, I really am sorry. This is just absurd. This is probably the only trick I had in the position. Okay. People wrote in the chat, that's tragic. It is tragic. It's really tragic. Okay, let's look at this bad game. Okay, so I don't know bishop f5 here. Takes, e6, and black is slightly better or equal. Okay, it's just a normal Caro-Kann now. You can take on d6 or play bishop g3. H takes was correct, castles. g4 best move, that's interesting. But rook e1 is okay. Again, g4 is the best move. Rook e2, yeah, idiot. Okay, so what I wanted to do, let's imagine that I did not play rook e1. Let's imagine any other move, king h1. He plays b4, he plays b5, I play b4. If a5, then a3. Takes. And this is my follow-up. This is what I wanted to do. And positionally, a knight on a5 or c5 is pretty good. Since I played rook e2 and then b4, black is just much better. I have to take. And yeah, rook e1 is... The engine wants me to play g4. This was so hard to play. And he should have taken with the b pawn, because now his queen is active, his rooks are active. I have to play something to defend the pawn, so let's say queen c2. My knight is on e1 for some reason. I mean, can he just go queen a7? He can, and if I go rook b2, he goes here. Rook bb1. Yeah. Queen c, but okay, queen c4 is also good. So somehow I managed to survive this. He should have gone h6, okay. Rook b7. Rook b7 was better than rook b2. Why would I go rook b7? What's the point? What if he just takes? I have rook d7. How is that enough? Why couldn't he just go... I have knight g5. Okay. Rook b2 blunder. Yeah, and this is pretty close to equal. Okay, equal. Rook d7 was best. Okay. Going into this known draw. Yeah, and now everything is a draw. This is, even without the g-pawn, this is a draw. It's much harder, but it's a draw. And I'm sure that the evaluation did not change at all. Yeah, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and then finally I pick up the h-pawn, and now there's nothing to do. I don't know what he does, because if he goes rook c2, I just go rook g2. And if this is taken, this is just a draw. But king f3. Yeah, I really am sorry. This was such a bad game. I'm actually sorry you had to see this. But I won, which is okay. Did not deserve it. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.